we're gonna take a look at one of the earliest build of Windows 10X so far, build 18875, and see all interfaces and user experiences to see what this cancelled Microsoft project actually is. Booting up the OS by using Hyper-V to emulate the intended hardware for Windows 10X. And yeah, it's taking a very long time to boot. While it's booting, let's catch up to the simplified story of Windows 10X. Windows 10X started as an early rumored newer simplified version of Windows that targets Chromebook-like devices. This edition was previously speculated to Windows 10 Lean, which was known to be lighter than the Pro edition of Windows 10. The Windows Lite name eventually came to surface when Tero Elhoinen on Twitter noticed the Lite name as an SKU within the Windows 10 SDK. The Windows Lite name would later be mentioned prominently across the people in the Windows community, and rumors suggest that the new OS might not be named Windows at all. The OS was later codenamed Santorini as the actual codename for the OS. Microsoft would later officially announce the OS as Windows 10X at the Surface event alongside the Surface Neo. And in early 2020, Microsoft published the first Windows 10X build available for the public, build 19563. This will be followed by build 19578. The development of Windows 10X was shifted from dual-screen devices like Surface Neo to single-screen devices. This made Surface Neo's development paused indefinitely. In December 2020, build 2279 was compiled and marks as the last publicly available build of Windows 10X. And in May 2021, Windows 10X was confirmed to be cancelled, with some elements of Windows 10X integrated to the next version of Windows, which is Windows 11. Here we are on the desktop. We can see that the OS already focuses on the dual-screen devices target, with the taskbar only visible for one of the two screens. And there is indicators at the top right of the screen for internet connection, battery status, time, and language. Opening the start menu, this already shows the earliness of the concept, such as the placeholder account picture, placeholder account name, and the application listed in it have its accent color set as the app icon's background. There are so many applications pre-installed in this OS. Some of them are also in Windows 10, some of them are not. We're gonna take a look at some of those later. But first, looking at the settings app, the look of it is still identical to what we've seen in Windows 10. By going into the system category, there are several settings items removed. Looking at the system info, the OS is specified as Core System Base Edition, version 1903, build 18875.1000. Oh yeah, since the OS is emulated on a dual screen device, you can move the settings window to the left, to the right, or maximize it. The taskbar will move to the left if the running window is on the right screen, and the taskbar will hide itself whenever the running window is maximized. Opening the File Explorer, the application uses a simplified version and uses UWP. Going to this device shows the user folder and well, that's it. You can't go any further. Even if I try to type // it doesn't work. Neither does Windows. You're only able to navigate inside the user folder. Very limited navigation, I assume. Moving back to the start menu, there's Excel as well as other Office applications. I don't know for sure why those apps are installed by default, but maybe thanks, I guess. Opening Excel will require you to sign in to Microsoft account or a school account. If I skip the process, Excel will only run read only, apparently. But in reality, it closes, doesn't want to run. What if I try to sign in? Well, using Word, signing in to the personal Microsoft account will not run either. What about the school account since I have one? Well, using my university account, it also won't run. So yeah, no luck, I guess. checking out other applications to see if it's running. Well, it runs, but you must obtain a big amount of patience as it will load for a long time, and eventually it runs, as you can see right now. Some applications, such as maps, will only run at the second time of execution. I don't know why, but sometimes it just does something like that when I tried it. Microsoft Store runs, but it needs an update which will never be downloaded and installed. Next, this app is called TruePaint. At first, I don't know what this app actually used for, but after some explorings, this application assumingly used to calibrate and test the use of touch via pen or via finger. Well, tell us in the comment below if you know what this is for. Speaking of testing, there's another application for testing purposes, Periscope, which is an interesting name. That's assumingly used to test out camera abilities and features. This application has very depth testing features such as output settings, color settings, brightness, focus, contrast, white balance, exposure, and many other settings. Photos applications is working in here. You're apparently able to view pictures here, but I don't have pictures to test for now. And by digging around this application, you can see that by using the album feature, the folder listed is actually a directory to the pictures folder, and it actually listed inside the C drive. So this means that the access to C drive is limited for select cases. Here is other applications such as people and weather. Oh yeah, one thing that I haven't told you about, Microsoft Edge. This build of Windows 10X uses the UWP Edge HTML version of Microsoft Edge, aka the legacy version or version 44 with Edge HTML 18 to be exact. This can be proven by whatismybrowser.com that apparently thinks that I'm using IE on Windows, and saying that it actually reports Edge on Windows Phone 10. Windows Phone 10! Wow! While exploring the OS, I just knew a shortcut for a debug layout policy. By pressing Windows and D, it will bring up some options to debug several layouts like orientation, taskbar option, keyboard option, and container policy. This hasn't been seen before anywhere as far as I'm aware, but this can be useful for later builds of Windows 10X. Also, there is task views here, which will be displayed on one of the screens. The first known build of Windows 10X so far has brought so many early features and changes done to envision the dual screen device focus, and it's going quite good, and we will see more changes for these features, and eventually seeing the drastic shift towards single screen device. How can it turn out to be? Well, maybe later.